Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen. Welcome back to another live stream brought to you by the awesome people over at Princess Dental Staffing. Happy to see everyone on this Wednesday. So, last week we shared with you some ways that you can make more money as a dentist. This week we are shining the spotlight on dental hygienists. So, showing some dental hygienists some love, right? How do you make more money as a dental hygienist? Well, that's what we're talking about today. Okay, so we're going to get into that. But before we do, of course, just want to remind everyone that each week Princess Dental Staffing is bringing you a new live stream covering a new topic regarding your career in the dental industry. So if you don't want to miss out on future streams, be sure to follow our page or subscribe to our channel. If you like the content that we're bringing you, drop us a like. And if you want to be part of the conversation, comment below. Okay. Also, Princess Dental Staffing is an online dental job board, and they have positions available for dental receptionists, dental assistants, dental hygienists, and dentists in a variety of different areas. So, if you have some time today, hop on to princessdentalstaffing.com, see what positions they have available in your area. They have full time, they've got part time, temporary, and permanent roles. So, be sure to check that out. You can also get your information in front of hiring managers by creating an online profile. And you can also take a look at their blog, which covers a lot of the same topics that we cover in these live streams as well. Okay. All right, so let's talk about it. So, dental hygienist role is definitely a great option to consider if you're not quite sure, kind of, what you want to do as a career. Dental hygienist is a great option. The Bureau of Labor Statistics actually predicts that there are going to be nationwide over 16,000 new openings per year for the next 10 years. Okay, so it's definitely a great option to consider when deciding on your career. Okay. But who doesn't want to make more money, right? So even as a dentist, like we were talking last week about being a dentist and maybe potentially making more money, I bet dental hygienists want to make more money too. Okay, so let's talk about some of the ways that you can make more money as a dental hygienist. Okay, so tip number one is to work as a temp. Right. So, getting temp gigs, even if you're full time or part time already as a dental hygienist, taking on a few temporary gigs, maybe, on the evenings or weekends or things of that nature, putting in more hours means more money. Right. And Princess Dental Staffing can definitely help you with that. Again, you can totally create a profile, get your information in front of hiring managers, and kind of go from there. Okay. Number two, financial advising. So, despite what your regular 9 to 5 job is, financial advising, being an independent financial advisor is a great way to make a little extra money on the side. It does require a little bit of investment on your part, spending a little extra money and spending some time training and learning how to be a financial advisor. But consider that kind of an investment, right? An investment in your future. Spend a little now, and then you learn some key skills and continue to make money with those skills, right? So it's really just kind of like a small investment that you make, and then you can become an independent financial advisor, find clients, and help them with their financial matters. Okay. Usually, independent financial advisors are self employed, though. So, it is going to change up your taxes just a little bit. As a freelancer, self employed as well, I can absolutely tell you that does change up your taxes a little bit. But honestly, at least for me, it's not that difficult. Really, I hire a professional to do my taxes, and she just tells me what to bring. I bring it. She does her magic. Taxes are done. So, it's really not that difficult. And it's also something that you can learn to do yourself as well if you want to invest a little bit more time and energy in this avenue. Okay. Number three, insurance, selling insurance. Okay. So keep in mind that insurance premiums actually pay residual income. So that basically means for the insurance that you sell, you continue to make money for that work in selling that insurance year after year. Okay. So that's a great way to do it as well. It takes a little while to get kind of off the ground. And again, you may have to invest in in yourself a little bit to kind of maybe train or learn how to sell insurance. But again, that work pays off year after year. So it's a great option. Okay. Next, finding a side hustle, right? Finding a side gig. Again, despite what your regular 9 to 5 is, we are definitely, in the gig economy, right? There's definitely a robust gig economy right now in this country. So, things like, photography, personal training, dog walking, writing and editing are definitely great ways to great side hustles to kind of take on and make a little extra money when you can. Setting your own schedule, working with the people that you want to work with, are all great as well. Also, things like Lyft and Uber deliveries and those sorts of things, all great options. Even transcribing, right? Transcription, and that kind of relates, to dental hygiene, medical, that kind of thing. So all of those are really great options. There are tons and tons of options for side hustles, side gigs, and a lot of them are very, very flexible in their scheduling. And again, you get to choose, kind of whom you work with. So that's also a great option as well. Okay. And finally, becoming a dentist. Right? That was a little bit obvious, but it's a great option to make more money, right? Again, reinvesting in your training, in your professional development, becoming a dentist and making more money as a dentist. And if you become a dentist and you decide, hey, I want to make more money as a dentist, see last week's stream. And that will give you some options on how you can boost your income and your revenue as a dentist. Okay. All right. So those are some of the ways that you can make some extra money as a dental hygienist. Let's talk about other things that you can do to kind of boost your salary and things like that. So there are a lot of things that impact hygienist salaries. Okay. So let's kind of talk about them. So first of all, shift length, right? So the length of your shift, if you're working, 20 hours a week, maybe consider going full time. If you're working full time, maybe putting in a few extra hours for overtime, working a few hours on Saturday, working weekends or evenings. These are, hours that are in demand, right, for a dental hygienist. So, putting in that extra time and, if it's possible at your current office or practice, putting in those extra hours can earn you more pay, right? Next, the type of office that you're working at. So, assisted hygiene and corporate practice hygiene roles typically pay more than traditional RDH roles. Okay. And some of these the different types of offices, they may require specialized training, but again, that's an investment in yourself, and you continue to earn more money when you break into those kind of specialized offices. So yeah, so that's a great option as well. Deciding on the type of office that you're going to work in. Okay. Number three, state, right? The state that you work in definitely affects your salary as a dental hygienist. So if you're in an area where you can cross state lines and you have licensing, in both of those states, right? You may have to, get licensing in both states. But if you are in an area where you are kind of close to a state border and you can go to a different state that pays a little bit more, it may be worth the commute. And again, if you don't want to have a full-time position that's so far from your home, temporal in a different state where you are licensed is a great option, right? And then you can kind of avoid, you don't have to like commute indefinitely, like all the time. It's just a temporary amount of time that you are commuting. You go to that other state, you work, you come home, you've made more money, right? And along those same lines is, higher cost of living areas, right? So if you're in an area where there's, like a local, like city or county area where there's a lower cost of living, but you live right next to somewhere that's a higher cost of living, again, commuting may be a great option. And that way you can avoid those higher costs of living, but you make more money, right? Because higher cost of living areas are typically going to pay more money for the same positions, right? Because You got to spend more to live there. But if you're living right next to sort of a higher cost of living area, it may be worth the commute. And again, if you don't want to make that commute all the time, temporals are a great way to, not have to make that commute indefinitely. And so, visit that kind of higher cost area, make the money, come back, and you spend less in your cost in your regular cost of living costs, right? So, those are options as well. Other ways that you can maximize your earnings. So that was talking about, how you can affect your salary as a dental hygienist, if that's your regular sort of 9 to 5. Maximizing your earnings, other ways that you can do that are things like advertising your credentials, right? So advertising your credentials, like on your resume, on your professional documents, on your professional social media pages, really kind of demonstrates that you are knowledgeable, that you are well trained, and that you have these strong skills, right? So credentials tend to bring with them more money. For example, I am a certified professional resume writer, right? I have that designation, right, through a professional association, resume writing association. Okay. So, that designation means that I am well trained, that I know what I'm talking about, and that I can earn more money as a resume writer. Same concept with dental hygienists, right? If you have those designations, registrations, the licenses, certifications, and things like that, that typically comes with a larger pay raise, right? So make sure you're advertising those credentials on your professional documents, resume, all that kind of stuff, on your professional social media pages and all those sorts of things. And that way you can market yourself, okay, and kind of put yourself in a better bargaining position when you are negotiating salary. Okay. Two, make your availability known, right? So again, shift length is something that affects dental hygienist salary. So make sure that you make your availability known. When you are applying for roles, when you are creating, your social media pages, or on princessdentalstaffing.com when you are creating your profile that you want to get in front of those decision makers. Make sure you make your availability known, right? So that they know what you can work, what you can't work, and that will kind of demonstrate your job flexibility and hopefully get you a little bit more money. Okay. Number three, get online and communicate. Again, social media networking sites are great. LinkedIn is definitely a major social media networking site. So get on there, start networking, start, building your network connections. And that is a great way to get job offers, to find new ways to apply your skills as a dental hygienist, and all those sorts of things. Okay. So network, network, network. Number four, work for yourself, right? So, being a freelancer, again, it definitely does take work, finding those clients and, taking charge of your career and all of those sorts of things. But it definitely does allow you a lot of flexibility, and you get to choose with whom you work and all of those sorts of things. So, working for yourself is definitely a great way to do that. Definitely will, you're going to have to work through the taxes, but really it's not that difficult. If you hire a professional, it's really not that difficult, at least not for me. So, make sure that you're taking charge of your career, that you're making the decisions that work best for you. And that way you can affect, how much money you make in the end, right? Okay. So those are just some of the ways that you can make more money as a dental hygienist, doing some, work on the side, whether that's related to the dental industry or not, affecting your current salary as a dental hygienist, and other ways that you can build revenue. Okay. Here are some other things that you can do that are, work related, right? Like in your position as a dental hygienist right now, with the office or the practice that you're working with right near now, here are some other ways that you can generate a little bit more of that revenue and that income. Hitting and exceeding production goals, right? So if you're, when your schedule has SRPs on it, or when you are double booked with patients, that's extra income that's coming in for the office, right? And your dentist can definitely share that with you, via like things like bonuses and things of that nature. So hitting and exceeding those production goals, really working on that time management, that productivity to kind of hit and exceed those goals is a great way to earn that extra income. Okay. Number two, patient referrals, right? So patient referrals bring in more patients to the dental office. That means more money. So, asking your patients for referrals or even asking them for reviews, like posting reviews online and things of that nature can really help bring more business into the office as well. Okay. Excuse me. Number three, commission on products, right? So if you are upselling these products to these patients who actually need it, then the office is, getting extra revenue as well, right? So, you can definitely talk to your dentist about getting a percentage or a fixed rate for each product that you are able to sell to patients, right? So things like toothbrushes, toothpaste, and all of those different things that you can recommend, right? You may be able to get a percentage or a rate for that. Okay. Number four, of course, again, taking extra shifts, working those hours that are in high demand, but not a lot of dental hygienists want to work evenings, weekends, holidays, and Saturdays, things of that nature, can definitely bring in more money. You're working more, bringing in more money, right? And finally, of course, again, taking a temp role, right? So, signing on with a staffing agency or, kind of doing it your own way on social media or applying for temp roles yourself is totally a great option. But, with Princess Dental Staffing, one of the great things about Princess Dental Staffing is that you get to keep what you earn, right? So, Princess Dental Staffing doesn't take anything from your pay. So you can definitely go on there again, create a profile, get your information in front of the decision makers, the people who need temp people. Great temp people like you, and you can start working other jobs, get your money, and keep your money, with the exception of taxes, obviously, and all those sorts of things. So that is a great option as well. Okay. All right. So thanks for being here with me today, everyone. Hopefully, you found some really great ways to make some extra money as a dental hygienist, whether that's taking on kind of like a side hustle, whether that is, working extra hours, taking on temp roles, or maybe negotiating a better salary or things like, commission on, selling products or things like that. There are tons and tons of ways to make more money as a dental hygienist. Okay, so hopefully you found something that definitely works for you today. All right. We will be back next week, next Wednesday, and we're going to be bringing you a new live stream covering another topic regarding your career in the dental industry. But until then, have a great week. Have a great weekend. Continue to stay safe out there. I'll see you soon.